Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with all of you today. My name is Pera-Weaver, and I focus on the acquisition marketing for the PBS Kids App Portfolio. I came to PBS by way of an e-commerce role. I was hired to launch an online educational service for kids ages 3 to 6, and I just so happened to be sitting in the right place at the right time and helped PBS Kids transition into the mobile space by creating the marketing plan that launched the first PBS Kids app. And I'm here to share some highlights of that journey with you and some key takeaways. A little bit about the PBS Kids App Portfolio. Today, we've launched over 50 apps. PBS is a mission-driven organization. So for PBS Kids, there's the belief that all children should have equitable access to great resources. So about half of the portfolio is free to download. All of the PBS Kids content is designed using research-based learning goals. And we take that educational framework and we wrap the entertainment value around it using the PBS Kids characters. We're on all 3 major platforms. I'll be referencing the App Store a lot in my presentation today, but Amazon and Google Play are an integral part of our success. To give the mobile landscape today some more context, I want to take you back to the year 2008 for just a moment. That's when Apple launched the first iteration of the App Store, and that was the year that PBS Kids launched their first app. Does anyone know, or does anyone want to guess how many apps were in the App Store when it first launched? Any guesses? I didn't hear it. Okay, there were 500. So very few, very little competition, and even very few kids app publishers. So it was pretty awesome. Every time we launched an app, it was very newsy. It created a lot of buzz. Buzz created awareness, and awareness created downloads. We're fortunate to be able to leverage PBS verticals, many verticals, and social channels to help create awareness and drive downloads. There's definitely seasonality to our apps, like right now when kids get out of school or when they go back to school or holidays, when parents are searching for high-quality educational content for their kids. We leverage app sales during these peak times to capitalize on those opportunities. We often get featured in theme-based collections on all 3 platforms, and a number of our apps have won awards, and awards create buzz and are a great promotional tool for our apps. Getting featured in the App Store, no doubt, had a significant impact on downloads. It was never guaranteed, but it's hard to remember a time when we launched an app and it wasn't featured. So for a very long time, we were in this great cadence of launching apps, creating a lot of buzz, seeing year-over-year growth in downloads and revenue. And then this happened. A new product life cycle began to emerge with every app launch. We'd see a spike in high volume downloads. It would be anywhere from 4 to 6, maybe out to 10 weeks. I call it the honeymoon phase. And then after that phase was over, we'd see a huge decline in downloads that plateaued from there. And it turns out there was a really good reason for that, right? The mobile landscape had changed. And today we all face some difficult challenges in the App Store. So the competitor pool is overcrowded. We've gone from a few hundred to competing against millions of competitor apps in the App Store. Users have gotten very savvy with navigating the store, and they take action very quickly. I've seen 12 seconds on average for a user to take action. And the majority of installs come by way of search. And as marketers, we are blind to that user experience. Another change was with the launch of iOS 11. Apple changed the UI, the user interface, which changed the way users navigate and discover apps in the store. App features are less prominent as the App Store shifted to a more editorial focus, and there are less of them. In 2018, Apple launched a new ad network, a new channel, Apple Paid Search Ads. And the good news is any publisher can bid on keywords, and this channel offers highly targeted ads. The bad news is your competitors can bid against you, as you can see from the slide. So all of these changes in the mobile landscape forced me to change my marketing focus from outside of the App Store to inside of the App Store. And that inward focus led me to explore App Store optimization. As you probably know, ASO is the process by which you increase your app's ranking and visibility in the App Store. We accomplish this by leveraging the two most valuable tools that we have to work with inside the App Store, and they are your metadata and your creative. As you could probably imagine, PBS Kids is a strong brand name, so organically we rank very high for those core brand terms. But to grow, we need to capture other high-volume keywords based on wants or needs to expand reach and drive downloads. So like learning games for kids or potty training. Our creative also plays a major role in conversion, and on average, if you think of it, a total of 12 seconds, your creative gets about 3 seconds to tell a compelling visual story. So creative iterations are imperative to success. So now I want to share with you a use case of the Wild Kratts Rescue Run app. For those of you who are not familiar with the Kratts brothers, Chris and Martin Kratt, they travel around the world and they share their passion for animals by teaching children about the innate abilities of animals and natural habitats. In this app, users rescue animals from their villains and return them to their natural habitat. This app is an excellent runner-style app with a strong brand name IP, but it's a paid app, which can definitely have a negative impact on conversion. So I'm going to show you, hopefully, a little trailer.
Wild Kratts Rescue Run.
Choose a mission to play.
Danita Donata is collecting animals in the Australian outback. There's no time to lose. Activate Great White Shark power. The great white shark is a serious predator with several rows of sharp teeth. To the creature rescue!
Oh, I love creature wow facts.
Oh, yeah!
So after deploying an ASO cycle with GummyCube, we achieved total keyword growth of over 52%, and keywords ranked in the top 10 increased by over 85%. The image to the left of the chart shows one of the screenshots before and after creative optimization. That top image is the original, and if you look at the bottom image, you'll notice that it highlights the key feature of the game, the runner style, using one of the main characters. This next slide gives you an idea of the kind of impact ASO has had on driving downloads. You can see by the chart in this slide that all of the optimization combined reversed the downward trajectory on app installs. So I want to pause just a minute just to clarify what what you're looking at, basically. So one chart is impressions, one chart is app units. If you look at that dotted line in the middle, that's the day that we deployed all our ASO optimization. To the left is basically that product lifecycle that I showed you earlier, where we launched the app. We had this huge spike, and then it was just this downward trajectory from there. Then that dotted line when we deployed our ASO cycle, and then to the right, you can see that it started to lift. So all that optimization definitely helped us to reverse that downward trend. This inward focus also led me to Apple paid search ads. Why Apple paid search ads? So I guess the most obvious reason to run an ASA campaign is to defend your brand. There are a couple of maybe not so obvious strategies. The first is to expand reach by discovering new keywords that the algorithm finds relevant and users search for your app. Through discovery, you can get a ton of insight into user behavior. The other is to overlay ASO efforts. By targeting the same keywords in your ASA campaigns that you're targeting in your ASO metadata, you can jumpstart ASO efforts, basically by helping the app to index for those targeted keywords that you want to rank for. Next is a use case for ASA of the PBS Kids Scratch Junior app. This app uses colorful programming blocks and PBS Kids character to help kids learn to code. This is a free app, so that's not the challenge, but the challenge is that it's niche. So our approach was to deploy an integrated ASO and ASA strategy around Tech Week last December. For this deployment, we defended the brand and expanded reach by pulling in 63 new terms on the ASA side. On the ASO side, we also increased organic rankings of some high volume and competitor terms. And you can see by the chart that this integrated overlay approach grew the number of impressions, app units, and true conversions by impressive amounts. Through the two use cases that I shared with you, you can see that ASO and ASA were leveraged differently because the challenges for each app were not the same. This holds true for the other apps in the portfolio and apps across all industries for that matter. Every organization has its own way of measuring success, and there are many challenges, and change is constant. I've adapted to each change by following the data and respecting the story it was telling me, and then optimizing accordingly. So it's analyze, optimize, and repeat. We are never done. Thank you.